Hey guys, this is Kid Rob speaking, and today we're back in Automation with the Lite Campaign V4.0 Let's Play with Superieco Incorporated. And we just have the third facelift of the Woodpecker coming out. Second facelift. Yes, the Mark III, that is. And it is doing really well. We have upped our capacity quite significantly, and now we are rolling in cash. We didn't take out any loan for this, so our finances are looking quite juicy. Let's have a look at the expenses. Yeah, the projected loan repayment costs are actually reasonably low. Yes. So that is just 6.6 mil. Yeah, that is about right. We have just two loans remaining. 6.4 million a month and the 147 million, not million, a month. That will be bad. Rather detrimental to our account balance. No, just 150,000. So that is looking really nice. And remaining loan, when you look at that, not all that scary anymore. We could pay that off right now if we wanted to. And that is a feature that is coming, by the way, that you can just click a button in here or somewhere that pays back the loan with all the remaining stuff, all the remaining interest and so on, so that you're rid of it. You can just clear out the list if you're nicely in the green. And yeah, so we are going to let's have a look. Oh shit, it's design time. It is design time for a new model. That was what we were going to do. Yeah, the Woodpecker has run its course. I think we need a new car. We're not quite ready yet to start a parallel car, which would be built in a different factory, but it's slowly getting there. I mean, Ahana has opened up, and Ahana opening up means that, yes, we want to outsource our production, thank you very much. The only thing that sucks about Ahana is that their build quality is absolute garbage. So let's see how we are doing for the effective unlock. 1963. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I wouldn't want to wait for that long. But we do have injection there. I think what we're going to do again is make a prototype and then put this engine, whatever Hand-Dieter makes for us, we are going to put that into the first facelift of our next car. I think this is a pretty smart way of going about it. So use the last engine version that you have already fleshed out, and then it takes a bit of the investment necessary and shifts it forward a little, and not sacrificing that much unless you build very different cars and the engine that you want to put in it's kind of sucky. But yeah, we do need to design a new car. Also, R&D costs of just 500k is a little low at this point. I mean, look at that, 19 million per month. We should be aiming for around 10%. And I think there's no way around getting more fuel system stuff in there. Yeah, a +4, I think that's worth it. There's so much reliability in this too, quite significantly. So yeah, +4, not too bad. Even +5. Now that's something that we're going to go for a little later. Before then, I think I want to upgrade some basics. How about chassis? That would be nice to bump up. And anything else in the engine? Not really. The top end would be nice-ish, but we are going for dual overhead cam pretty soon anyway. And I don't think that, well, we don't need to rev higher at that point, and they are low friction anyway, so yeah, not that necessary. Aerodynamics, yeah, kinda nice to have, but driver assist, I think another point in interior and maybe one in safety, because we are in the market for those cars, maybe two in safety even. The lab costs are getting quite juicy here. So yeah, that's 1.4 million per month. It's getting expensive, but I think might be worth it. 1.5 million. Okay, let's squeeze that in there. Body. We do want to unlock bodies earlier. Okay. By the way, I just designed on yesterday. Yesterday. I designed all kinds of things for 4.1 progressions and stuff. And among that, the body penalty, age penalty. Ooh. That is, I can tell you, right now it is basically 0. It won't be in future. It will hurt. No longer will you see anything but vans be produced basically forever before they drop off. You expect it to not run a model for more than 10 to 15 years, and like in the high-end segments with high prestige, probably more the 10-year end of it, and have at least 3 facelifts during that time to keep it fresh. But at the end of that, even with new facelifts, you will be at like 5% penalty already for the old body. And of course your competitors are going to suffer the same thing, so it's not like you're running against the wall, but you have to keep at it. So I think that will play pretty nicely now that we have so many bodies in the game. And okay, but now, finally, let's get to it. We need a woodpecker replacement. Oh shit, I see a Hansmobile. Oh, if we ever wanted to do a hypermiler, this is it. But it only has 1 seat row, of course. But it's tiny. I think he would want to make this one. At least just design it. Should we just go ahead and design one? Just for funsies, and then just talk that through with Hans? And put his old inline 3 in it, and him being all over it. That might be cool. And then now we scrap it. But wait a second. Do we even have a car we can use here? 2.7 meters, that's large. And the drag coefficient is awful on these. Ugh. Okay, and this one just has 1 seat row, and it's just coupes. Who needs all these coupes? And this one, same thing there. 1960. Do we have to go that far back? Come on! Oh, this one is, but it's a coupe. Do we have to use this one? Really? I want the new feature where you can just look up what cars are coming up. Where is it? It would be in your research thing, but there's nothing here. But I don't want to wait to 1965 either. I assume that's when the new cars are coming out. That's way too long. We can't let this one rest for that long. We need to pick a replacement. But with the current, yeah, I mean, I've already told you the car body age penalty is basically 0 at the moment, so it isn't too bad. But on the other end, I think we're going with the more modern one, the 1960s sedan. It is quite roomy, and it does have a wagon version. But first, we design a hypermiler. The Hansmobile. Let's go. So of course fiberglass. Now this is going to be a one-off anyway, right? We go for monocoque because that is lighter than space frame. Monocoque is like, if you go from ladder to monocoque, you go for monocoque because it's stiffer and it's lighter. And space frame is exactly between those in design, right? It's just a space frame. We're like a ladder everywhere and smaller. And yeah, monocoque is just the end of it. So this one is actually lighter. And we, of course, going for rustiness and rear longitudinal. We don't want to have nasty drive shafts anywhere because they weigh like extra. Okay, let's just go with what we have. Oh, the rear suspension doesn't carry because that needs to be differently engineered because of the engine placement or something. I don't know if that is supposed to happen or not. Cannot fit. Yeah, I think we just use the E52, like the old shitty engine. We put that in. I think it will be good enough though. And of course we use a manual. And a manual that is having a very high top speed. Setting, that is. Not an actually high top speed. Hard long life it is, of course, for this design. And they need to be tiny. They need to be tiny and quite... Oh, shit. Those are bicycle tires. Are we making bicycle tires? 115s. This looks stupid. But this also looks stupid. Yeah, let's go with 135. Oh shit, the front needs to be way smaller. So 115s in the front and 135s in the rear. And those don't even have too crazy a profile. Well, for 1960 they do. But hard long life. I mean, this is the Hansmobile. And of course magnesium rims, because weight. And then we have... we can go... This thing doesn't weigh anything. So we can go with normal discs, normal drums, and make them tiny. I don't think you need more than 220s. Of course, semi-clad, all the aero we have available to us. Let's go plus 10. Cooling airflow, of course, down. We don't want any of that. And we do want to go with a basic interior and none, because that is all weight, right? We don't need that. No power steering, you don't need that. This car weighs like 3 kilos, so that's about, just as a conversion for you Americans, that's about 6 pounds and a bit. Yeah, safety. Who needs safety? I mean, Hans is not driving more than like 50 kilometers an hour anyway. Okay, yeah, you can very much die at 50 kilometers an hour, but he's a careful driver. How many kilos are these? 6 kilos. We do want to keep him around for a little longer. So 6 kilos, that's fine. That's fine. Progressive springs, little ride comfort. It's the same weight, so we can put that on. And it's not supposed to be sporty. Still oversteery as fuck. But look at that. Look at that fuel economy. That's quite impressive. Let's see how low I can get it. Oh, that tune. What a car. What a car this is. Cornering, pretty decent considering the tiny bike tires that we've put on there. And we are now at 4.7 liters per 100k. Let me convert that. Oh yes, that is exactly 50 miles to the gallon. How good is that? In 1961, the Hansmobile is alive. Oh well, no, it's alive in concept. Not any more than that. I think we need to let it run around the test track just to see how powerful it is. I can barely hear it. Its acceleration is abysmal. But what did you expect? Oh no, it keeps accelerating. That is not where Hans would drive it. We can't show him this footage. So it did a pi minutes in track time. That's good. That's good for this car, I guess. Just 600 kilos. Really nice. I quite like the design. It's a useless car, but holy shit, it has some things going for it, and that some things are fuel economy and sportiness of all things. But anyway, I think we now need to design the actual car that we were setting out to do. Not the Hansmobile. Let me call it the Hansmobile. We can gift that design to him in on Christmas this year. Christmas 1961 is Hansmobile design draft. Alright, all the standard stuff. Let's go for it. We aim for commuter, and then we are not going to end up at commuter because we don't have a car body available for it. Steel monocoque it is, and we are going for just plain steel. And engine placement, front longitudinal. Yes, this car can have a rear engine. That is quite nice. But we're not going to use that standard setup. And I think this time around we don't need to cut the corner with -2 for the monocoque. I hope that's the case. Let's make a quick revamp of the E59. Turn it into the E61. So why are you doing this? I don't get it. This is already like the perfect engine. You can't make it any better. Look, we have 40 horsepower sports car engine. Ooh, now this step in quality starts to hurt. I wanted to go up a little bit more here, but let's not tell Hans that we can't, because that is just too much cost. So yeah, we are trying to get a little bit more efficiency squeezed out of this engine, but this will be hard because I did such a nice job to start with, so there's not much room for improvement here. We're already at +5 quality for the exhaust system, +2, so +7 This is crazy. Crazy good. Let's add one more. Yes, that is nice. Look at this. Barely costs us anything, and oh, that's a whole new production unit though. Ah, well, the factory guys will figure it out. Alright, we start off with the sedan, and this one has mid-engine compatibility, this one doesn't. Okay, and this one is just front engine. We don't need the mid-engine compatibility. This one has 4 doors, so we need to select the 4-door version. That will get higher practicality. And yeah, let's go with our standard stuff. It has to be a slush box. I think at this point in time, 155s might be about right. I don't think we necessarily need to go for solid disc just yet. We can ride the... yeah, we can ride the familiarity a bit more for the drum brakes. I mean, we're not doing high performance cars. We're probably going to use drums till the 90s. And I think what we should start doing is add semi-clad. Because that is not much engineering time, but it adds some fuel economy. And we do want that. And our cars aren't known for high top speeds either, so it doesn't hurt us that much. Cooling airflow needs to be up. Let's put it at 75. We can easily install the premium AM radio, and we have some familiarity with it already. So let's do that. Oh, do we want to go with advanced 50s now? Nah, probably not. How about standard 50s? And then switch to advanced 60s for the next facelift. I think that's probably for the better. Don't want to have those long vectors for the original build. Low comfort. Ah, okay, it's low comfort penalty. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we're looking a lot better already. Even though this is pretty garbage. This is perfect sports trim, which we are not going for. Oh, look at that. Pretty decent acceleration up to 100 kilometers now. Like, as in decent is, it's barely noticeable, but you're getting there. You're getting there eventually. Just takes you 28 seconds. That's pretty fast. Oof, 135's front. That is not so nice, but can we... Do we get something better if we up this? Then we would have to go one step lower even. Yeah, not really. This is not looking all too hot, is it? Brakes need to be optimized. They are way too low. Maybe we do want to go for solid discs. Although the cost would be quite prohibitive, wouldn't it? And the only brake fade we experience at the moment is utility brake fade. And who the fuck cares about utility? And it's going to be lessened by this. 300, really? Yeah, this is looking pretty solid. Let's try that out. Yeah, I think the commuter really likes it. The desirability is not the problem, it's the affordability that is, but we're going to pretty much mass produce this thing anyway, so I'm not too worried about that stat at the moment. A little bit of suspension meddling here and there. I can't get it exactly to where I want without getting to wax settings with the roll angle and such, but I think this is good enough. We are above the line, so, well, the rest goes into the void that is sportiness, 0. Just below 1,000 kilos, and the markets, yeah, the markets quite like it. It looks expensive at the minute. Ooh, the total is looking nasty. 77. Let's get over to the engineering panel first and see if we need to modify that or not. End of cycle. I think we should upgrade this. It's expensive. It is really expensive. Oh, okay, already with that it's 120 million for the retool. Yeah, of course it is. I mean, we are using large steel presses, and the dies for these things are so damn expensive. We did a bit of research into that, and it's like one set of dies for the steel presses is like, what was it, like 60 million or something crazy in the cost. So that is more or less accurate, unfortunately, for us in this situation. But do we want to add maintenance now? in our company valuation would allow us to take out a pretty big loan. 800 million in cash? Is that too much? It does sound like a lot. 32 months? Maybe not. Oh, adding 1 isn't too bad. Reduce, okay, we don't, do we need this? 6 months of experience for the new model. That is kind of nice to have in Ahana for sure, where they suck at building shit. But slower wear on the factory, probably in the long term, that's the better one to pick. Well, let's go with this. 28 or 26, doesn't matter. But holy fuck, that means we do need a stocked cars that is insane. 2 years worth of stock plus. Maybe it's actually not worth upgrading in that instance. I think I reconsider. I'd rather build new at this moment. And once I have 2, then having 1 like on hold is not that bad. Oh, just refreshing the building and stuff is very costly. Yeah. On the other hand, yeah, it's new tooling anyway. So you might as well upgrade it then, right? But it hurts. How long does it take now? It's 8 months. Okay, that's not that long. I think I'm going to lower the worker wages, being cheap and all. How much do we have here? Okay, so 18.7. Yeah, that does make a little bit of a difference. And I don't really see the move in the production quality much. They have so much experience by now. Okay, with all the familiarity applied, we are at 61, 62 months. That isn't too bad. The chassis is 46 months. Let's see, though, how much that comes down with a -2 chassis quality and 107.5 there. Let's see how much difference that makes. Oh, yeah, that's a big difference. That's 7 months. 7 months worth of difference. I think we need to go for negative quality once again. Because that's just 4 competitiveness. Yeah, 4 competitiveness for 7 months. That is a really good deal. It kind of hurts because the stats of the car just went down so much, but I think we need to do that. Also, we are going to add a trim to this, which adds more to the engineering time. So yeah, let's do this now. Let's clone this one and get the wagon version going. Not many changes required. It's oh wait, we can morph this thing a little as well. Turn on the morphing and whoop, get some more room, please. More room for everything in here, including dead bodies. The way it looks. Okay, now that is some room. That is a lot of room. All right, I think I have set it up somewhat reasonably. Probably want to have a bit more ride height for this one. It is doing well in the family segment. That's good. And in the family utility premium. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah, I think this will be a decent seller too. Especially after we cut some price. That is looking nice. Without cutting too many corners, we already are only at 57 months. Well, cutting corners a little bit. Just a little bit, like with the chassis. So now comes the corner cutting with the sliders. So where do we want to go with this? Funding 18 million, 1 month worth of profits. I think that is fine. As total costs, of course. So let's see where this one goes. Okay, 23. Yeah, that's still fine. 55 months. That's good. And costs us a little bit extra. And considering that we have this number shown up there, that is less than a month worth of profits that we are gaining for 2 months worth of decreased engineering time. So 2 months of profits for a third of a month of profits. That sounds entirely reasonable, and that's a good way of thinking about it. We don't want to touch the tooling here. This is quite important. Look at how many more cars or less cars we shift, if that is just increased or decreased slightly. Might even want to consider to increase this. Reliability is something that we can touch on the second run. Like the second go at it. 58 months. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Just a tiny bit of sacrificial dances for the reliability here. That is not nice to see, but I guess that has to be done. Yeah, otherwise that cost increase is not what we want to see here. So, it's looking good. I quite like these numbers. 58, solid. Oh, the engine factory is still sitting at medium 1. Alright, do we want to add anything to it? Like maintenance? Maintenance? Nah, let's wait. Let's keep them synchronized for now. This is exactly the engine we want. And do we want to refresh these? Probably not. That should be fine. 94. Although, if we keep them fresh, then... yeah, that's 7 versus 3. Right. Let's not keep it fresh. Let's keep it that way and then refresh for the next one when we change anyway, when we have to have that triggered on. Engineering, cheap as always. That is just another little facelift. I can even up the tooling a little. Although that is not really worth it anymore. And there we go. 100 reliability. We can even increase... Do we want to increase this? No, that lowers the engine production capacity, so nah. Don't want to touch that. We can decrease funding even more. Perfect. There we go. 30 months. Ooh, this line is getting real close. Yep, but we take it. Forecaster. Well, yeah, I guess. These numbers don't look too promising, do they? But what is going on there? It gets better over time. Well, I like to see that. But the profit numbers sure do look nice. So we're going to sell both of these for sub 7k. That sounds great. And just 8 months of wait time for the factories. I think we have this all sorted. Oh, I forgot to mention. This is now called the Valarian. That was another one of those. Oh, the Hansmobile. No, we're not going to finance the Hansmobile. Deactivate the loan. Sign it off. This is payable out of pocket for sure. Looking great. And then for the next one, we should have such a good company valuation that we can take out a massive loan and rebuild the factories, or build a new factory even. I think that might be the way to go. That requires a lot of cash though. Anyway, is this all good? Total cost 244 million. We're happy with the engine. We have our 2 variants in this one. Sign it off. Agreed. And with that, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.